to another episode of EveryRing, that's everything wrestling. What if? Today's topic is a tricky yet interesting conundrum. Paul Heyman had never joined Eastern Championship Wrestling (ECW), the wrestling landscape would likely be drastically different. ECW, as we know it, would not have become a revolutionary force, and its influence on the industry, particularly WWE and TNA, would be absent. Heyman's creative genius and ability to cultivate talent were crucial to ECW's success and subsequent impact. Here's a more detailed look at the potential ramifications. ECW's rise and influence. ECW's unique, edgy, and realistic style, fostered by Heyman, significantly impacted the wrestling industry. Without him, ECW might not have gained its cult following or influenced the direction of WWE and TNA. WWE. ECW's influence on WWE's Attitude Era is undeniable. Without ECW, WWE's programming might have remained more traditional, and the company's shift towards a more mature and edgy product may have been delayed or less pronounced. So no Attitude Era would be quite impactful. Steve Austin was a big factor in ECW. That could have never happened, creating a devastating domino effect. Shift in content. The WWF moved away from traditional, family-friendly storylines and characters to embrace a more adult-oriented approach, often described as shock value entertainment. Rise of anti-heroes. Characters like Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock, with their rebellious, anti-establishment attitudes, became incredibly popular. Monday Night Wars. The era was heavily influenced by the competition with WCW and their Monday Night Nitro, forcing the WWF to adopt a more edgy and exciting product to compete for viewers, where the likes of Austin, The Rock, Undertaker, Mankind, and Kane were popular and dictating the situation. So ECW not being around or having Paul Heyman could have been cataclysmic, as alluded to an earlier episode, making it possible for WCW to win the Monday Night Wars. AEW. This is tricky. The obvious thing is WWE not being competitive. The domino effect of wrestling world would be drastic. Wrestling may not have been a successful venture where no big companies would develop. AEW may just be an indie concept from stars of NJPW venturing out. So Paul Heyman not showing up could have impacted AEW from never existing. So no Orange Cassidy, no Will Ospreay, and no Hangman Page. Many of these outlier wrestlers wouldn't have a home in the West and the landscape would vastly be different. TNA. TNA, now Impact Wrestling, was partly inspired by ECW's success. Without ECW's example, TNA might not have emerged, or its trajectory could have been vastly different. Talent development. Heyman's ability to spot and develop talent, like Rob Van Dam, Mick Foley, and many others, would not have happened within the ECW framework. These wrestlers, and the impact they made on the industry, would likely have followed different paths. Heyman's career. Heyman's career trajectory would have been vastly different. He might have remained in a more traditional role, perhaps in WWE or WCW, without the opportunity to build and lead his own company. In essence, Paul Heyman's involvement in ECW was a pivotal moment in wrestling history. Without it, the wrestling world would be a less diverse and less influential place. So TNA may have happened, but it would be a big what if. As mentioned, TNA was inspired by the success, so without that inspection, there probably wouldn't be a TNA. So no X Division, no alternative to the alternative, the likes of Abyss, Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, Motor City Machine Guns, and at the time Best Women's Division with the likes of Angelina Love, Gail Kim, and Awesome Kong would be an afterthought. So, bigger impact would be the non-existent women's wrestling that earned respect. So Paul Heyman is a key component in wrestling. His mind has altered the landscape. More than just a mere manager but a renaissance man of the sport. Today, he's part of the biggest storyline, which tells you how truly special Paul Heyman really is. Now to the discussion with Avad. Like always, enjoy wrestling and whatever Avad says.
There is a lot to discuss, so let's go into the discussion. Congrats are in order for Mercedes Mone, who added to her gold collection by winning the CMLL Women's World title this past Wednesday at AEW Grand Slam, defeating Zexis. Congrats are also in order for Mercedes, for she and Beast Mortis are currently dating, which furthers the trend of wrestlers dating wrestlers. Also, I guess love is in the air. Will Ospreay is engaged to marry fellow wrestler Alex Windsor. She is a British female pro wrestler signed with Revolution Pro Wrestling as of March 2025. She is a longtime member of promotions such as Pro Wrestling, Eve, Progress Wrestling, and Revolution Pro Wrestling. Windsor performed in events like the Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling and Wrestle Carnival. During her time with the Bellatrix Female Warriors. Continue love in the air and families. Corey Graves and Carmella announced they are expecting their second child together. I guess in the veil of love. Matt Riddle announced he's starting his own OnlyFans. Seeing many of the women are banking on the side job, he's next. In a negative note, during Raw Liv Morgan dislocated her shoulder in the match against Kairi Sane. She will require surgery and will be out for at least 6 months, which continues the curse of the women's tag titles. In TNA, Cedric Alexander made his debut and quickly is placed in a program with Mustafa Ali. Amid rumors Hulk Hogan is on his deathbed, the wrestling legend's representative shared an update on his health. The WWE Hall of Famer was recently hospitalized amid ongoing neck and back issues, though despite speculation, a representative for Hulk, real name Terry Jean Bollier, confirmed to A. News June 18, no reasons to panic. As in the stickers. WWE saw the return of Asuka for her match for the Queen of the Ring, where she was victorious against Stephanie Vaquer, Raquel Rodriguez and Ivy Niles. Also returning was Hall of Famer Bill Goldberg to challenge Gunther for Saturday's night main event. Let's now go to matches of the week, wrestlers of the week, and indie star of the week. Let's go. Matches of the week. Raw, King of the Ring Tournament. First round fatal 4-way match. Main event, Jey Uso vs Rusev vs Sheamus vs Big Bronson Reed with Paul Heyman. Playing along many storylines, the match perfectly told many stories. Jey Uso coming back from his title lost, continuing the Seth Rollins story. This was just splendid. NXT Evolution Eliminator, Jordynne Grace vs Lola Vice. Actually all the matches were spectacular, again highlighting the best women's division. Lola vs Jordynne had it all. Both competitors put on an instant classic. Smackdown. Queen of the Ring semi-final, Asuka vs Alexa Bliss. The former women's tag champs had a great match that paired chemistry and athleticism. The two top tiers didn't disappoint. AEW Dynamite. 10-man tag team match, Jon Moxley, Matthew Jackson, Nicholas Jackson, The Beast, Mortos, and Wheeler Yuta vs Will Ospreay, Swerve Strickland, Samoa Joe, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Katsuyori Shibata. Grand Slam Mexico was a mixed bag. A lot of multi-men matches, but this one was far superior than the last. This was technically the all-star match pitting the top stars against each other. TNA, Elijah, Joe Hendry, Leon Slater and the Rascals, Zachary Wentz and Trey Miguel, vs TNA World Tag Team Champions The Namaths, Ryan and NIC, TNA World Champion Trick Williams, X Division Champion Moose and TNA International Champion Steve McCullen, Champions Challenge. Again it's a multi-men's match, but it did highlight challengers versus champions and did exactly that. Wrestlers of the Week. WWE. Asuka. Successful return in the Queen of the Ring qualifier. Making her presence felt and telling a great story. The Empress of Tomorrow. Can play a lot of pieces of the puzzle. AEW. Mercedes Mone. Winning more gold. It's a double-edged sword, but in this case, added to the strength of the CEO. TNA. Elijah. His return to the ring has been entertaining and he's been in the picture for some of the better storylines. Where he has been in stories both NXT and TNA, his current run with Joe Hendry is intriguing. Indie Star of the Week. Josiah. A wrestler who has impressed with his talent and potential. A Spanish wrestler who has wrestled for Progress Wrestling, Pro Wrestling Noah, Fight Factory Pro Wrestling, and Revolution Championship Wrestling (RCW), making audiences cheer and bookers salivate to what's to come. Well, that is another amazing week of wrestling. Until next week, chalo kushti le den.
Wrestling is something special. As you can see, our human element dealt with a lot of superstars. King Kong Bundy, a wrestler deserving WWE Hall of Fame. Sherry Martel was an amazing person who helped revolutionize the women's division. The Crusher, who Milwaukee famous, was a classic star. Puppet the Midget was a bigger-than-life superstar who is both engaging and ahead of his time. Wrestling is life and we want to push it forward.
Thanks for tuning in to Channel 14, Kenosha Community Television. Remember to tune into my program, Just Talkin', shown right here, Tuesday and Wednesday nights at 8:30 p.m. until 9 p.m. on Channel 14. On the program, we cover community events, talk to nonprofit organizations, and who knows, we may bump into a celebrity now and then. So remember to tune in to Just Talkin', Tuesday and Wednesday nights at 8:30 p.m. right here on Channel 14.
Kenosha Community Media. For years, we have informed, entertained, and performed community services for the city of Kenosha. Kenosha Community Media is your television station where you are the star, creator, and performer. To contact us, 262-564-6103. Website, kenoshamedia.org.
Hey kids! Do you guys like cartoons? I love cartoons! Do you like to see the old classic cartoons that your families were raised with? I would love to, but where can I watch those at? Well, we're bringing back classical cartoons with Mr. Bunker's Cartoon Apocalypse, where we resurrect old cartoons. Oh, when is it on? On Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. and Sunday mornings at 10:30, where you get to see classic cartoons like Betty Boop. I love Betty Boop. Popeye. Big Popeye fan. We have great Huckle and Jekyll. Oh, I love those. So Kenosha Community Media is bringing back the classical cartoons with Mr. Bunker's Cartoon Apocalypse. Question, does Mr. Bonkers have any friends on that show? He has a lot of friends. We're hosting with Chalk and Manimal, but he has great friends like Chef Luigi. I'm going to start the kids. He has Peanut the Peacock. Hello, kids. He has Cinnamon the Ape. What's going on, brothers? And his friend that also hosts a different show, it's Klutz the Clown. Hey, kids, it's tough being a clown. So if you enjoy cartoons, if you want to watch something that's whimsical and nostalgic, please tune into Mr. Bonker's Cartoon Apocalypse, Saturdays and Sundays, Saturdays at 10, Sundays at 10:30. And we would enjoy to join us because you could be our circus freaks. Bye, kids. Goodbye, kids. Hey, Bambinos. Do you like movies? I sure do. I like other movies.
Yeah, we have a new show called What the Heck Are We Watching?
I don't know. You tell me.
Well, it's a show that we review movies for coming weeks.
No, what are we watching? You said what the heck are we watching? You tell me.
We're watching the movies.
Oh, that's so right. We're watching the movies. Hey, you knew we were doing this promo. How come you didn't put your shoes on? That's a little unprofessional, no?
Because of where we like to be freelancing. And we, every Friday at 5 and Saturdays at 10:30, you can listen to our reviews.
We have a great reviews. We're better than those other jabronis that used to do the reviews, huh?
Yeah, if you like Cisco and Ebert, you'll love us better. What the heck are we doing? Oh, watching.
I don't know what we're doing half the time either, but what the heck are we watching?
What the heck are we watching? We go over movies, we give them thumbs up, thumbs down, if we like them, and basically, we tell you if you want to go see a movie or not.
That's alright, and the most important message you get from the show is, visit your grandparents,
Yeah.
It takes 10 to 15 minutes. Just go see them, give them some kisses, some of the hugs, and go to visit, huh?
So, on Fridays at 5.
And Saturday morning to 10:30.
What the heck are you doing? Watching?
What are you doing right now? It's what the heck are we watching? Sorry, my wife is suffering some dementia, but it's a what the heck are we watching?
What the heck are we watching? Bye, Bambinos.
Now, my question I have to ask now, where the heck are we parking, right?
Air service.
All right.
Just Turned Heel, hosted by Danger Dan and Diablo Angelico, as seen on EveryRing. That's Everything Wrestling. Behind the curtain look at professional wrestling. A gritty shoot style of interviews where we look at various aspects of wrestling. Ever wanted to know what an indie star needs to do to get their foot in the door? Ever wanted to know what a booker does? Ever wanted to know the purpose of a referee is? Just Turned Heel will plunge into the world of wrestling and look at every facet. Just Turned Heel, YouTube exclusive, starting January 28, 2024.
Beware, take care. The little green dragon sits on your doorstep. He eats little boys, puppy dog tails, and big, fat snails. Beware! Pull the string! Pull the string! Dr. Destruction's Crimson Theater can be viewed on Saturdays at 9 o'clock, Tuesdays at 3 o'clock, and Fridays at midnight. All right, ghoulies, you tune in. You won't be let down.
You haven't seen horror till you've seen horror of the crying skull. See teenagers getting killed. See horror coming at you every scene in a skull. See the skull coming at you. The skull, and hear her cry. I hope you enjoy the horror of the crying skull.